Hi, welcome to Topics in Macroeconomics. This topic is the expected real interest rate. In a previous video, we looked at the difference between the nominal interest rate and the real interest rate. This topic is concerned with the relationship between these two interest rates. Recall our earlier example of a one-year loan. In this loan, the principal was $500 and the interest payment at the end of the year was $25. The nominal interest rate on this loan was 5%. If prices increase by 2% over the period of the loan, then the real interest rate on this loan was 2.94%. We can see from these figures that the real interest rate is approximately equal to the nominal interest rate less the rate of inflation, or 2.94 is approximately equal to 5 minus 2. This relationship between nominal and real interest rates is general, and we can write that the real interest rate is approximately equal to the nominal interest rate minus the rate of inflation. For relatively small values of inflation and the nominal interest rate, this approximation is quite accurate, and it is conventional to replace the approximation sign by the equality sign. So, in our previous example, we have the real interest rate is equal to 3%. That is, the nominal interest rate of 5% minus the inflation rate of 2%. In general, we can compute the real interest rate as the nominal interest rate minus the rate of inflation. So far in calculating the real interest rate, we've assumed that we know with certainty the rate of inflation that will occur over the period of the loan. In practice, this will not be the case. Consider the following example. Suppose you're trying to decide whether or not to save an additional $10,000 by placing the money in a one-year term deposit. At the time I recorded this video, the Commonwealth Bank was offering a term deposit for 1 year with a nominal interest rate of 3.2%. So, although we know the nominal interest rate on this deposit, we don't know what the real interest rate will be over the period of the loan, because we don't know with certainty what inflation will be over the coming year. So, your decision whether or not to save the $10,000 will be based upon the expected rate of inflation and consequently upon the expected real interest rate. Suppose that you expected the inflation rate over the next 12 months to be 2.5%. Then we can compute the expected real interest rate as the nominal interest rate on the term deposit of 3.2 minus the expected inflation rate to give an expected real interest rate of 0.7%. The question then is this sufficient to induce you to save the additional $10,000? There are two basic concepts of the real interest rate. One of these uses historical data on actual inflation. This is known as the ex post real interest rate and is calculated as the nominal interest rate minus the actual rate of inflation. The second concept of the real interest rate is the expected real interest rate, and this is based upon a measure of expected inflation. The expected real interest rate is equal to the nominal interest rate minus expected inflation. While the ex post real interest rate is easy to calculate because it doesn't require a measure of expected inflation, for economic decisions about savings and investment, it is the expected real interest rate which is important. See you next time.